Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at AbelHS's Control Priest, or Mind Blast Priest, whatever you would like to call it. This is a deck that has been around for quite a while. It has been kind of on the forefront of the metagame for quite a while, and it is one of the more powerful kind of control / combo finish decks that exists in the format. We've definitely played it a whole bunch before, and I think if you're after a bit more of an in-depth rundown of this deck, definitely go check out some of my other videos where we've covered this kind of Control Priest, Mind Blast Priest before. In general though, the game plan is all about controlling the game using a lot of cards like Tar Creeper to bog down the board, Dusk Breaker to sweep away aggressive decks, other great board control tools like Scale Worm, things like that, big bodies like Twilight Drake, just kind of control the board until eventually you can get an Alexstrasza down, hit your opponent down to 15, and then you're going to try and finish them off with 3 copies of Mind Blast, or 2 copies of Mind Blast and a Holy Fire. Obviously, it's quite difficult for us to draw all of those cards, so we're going to use cards like Shadow Visions to discover additional copies of Mind Blast, preferably. We can also sneakily discover a few off of Fire Tree Witch Doctor, which is also pretty exciting. So we're going to discover our combo pieces, our burn pieces. We're going to kill our opponent from 15. If our opponent does gain some armor, or we do need to do a little bit of extra damage, or we can't find all those Mind Blasts in time, we've also got Shadow Reaper Anduin in here as a way to potentially do more than 15 damage in one turn. Other than that, yeah, lots of very typical control pieces. Psychic Scream at the top end. Gone for a 1 Crowd Roaster, 2 Primordial Drake here. I've definitely seen the inverse of that. With 2 Crowd Roasters, 1 Primordial Drake. Either or, I guess we'll find out. And the real spicy one here is the Omega Medic. We haven't played with Omega Medic in Control Priest yet, but we've certainly been blown out by it before. Just that big 10 healing, dropping a 3 mana body on the board, like very, very useful. I'm really excited to play with this card. So without further ado, we'll jump into some games, and even if we don't get some wins, let's hope we get some learns, because this is a great deck to learn and jump onto the ladder with. So let's go. Okay, here we are with AbelHS's Control Priest, up against the mirror here. Now, I believe AbelHS has included a full mulligan guide, which is extremely exciting for me. It's very detailed. Let's see what they recommend for the mirror match. Northstrike Cleric, Power Word Shield, Fire Tree Witch Doctor, Twilight Drake, and Shadow Reaper Anduin. Is none of these, so I'll kick it back. Definitely been seeing a lot more Cloning Gallery Priest on the ladder lately. Though interestingly, I think whenever we hit a priest on stream, we tend to hit Mind Blast Priest.
Mind if I roll need?
Well, let's see what this is. Is this going to be Mechathune? Is this going to be something different? Pretty slow start here. Saint Akira, this should be a pretty quick match. What makes you say that? Or is there a little bit of kappa in your voice there? I mean, what do we really want to steal from this deck, right?
Oh, a shadow.
What? Replicating Menace. Alright, HS Replays to the rescue. Just in case there's another Replicating Menace lurking around. Replicating Menace.
Protocol 7.
Oh, there was a war gear, never mind. I guess that's better. Wow. Okay. Dicey situation here. Might go for a Crowd Roaster next turn. Do you think even Warlock or Odd Dragon Warrior would be more effective? I think I would go for even Warlock. I think Odd Dragon Warrior is not as strong as most people hope it is. But I would say that both of those decks are leaving Standard pretty soon. I mean, even Warlock loses your boy. Oh, Twilight's Call with Replicating Menace is actually really sick.
Let me change your mind.
I want that. Alright, we gotta find this deck on HS Replays. What has... Oh my gosh, included card War Gear, 2 War Gears, Replicating Menace, and what's the quest called? Awaken the Makers, Awaken the Makers. Alright, HS Replay. Show me the answers. No decks found. Okay, our opponent's on some sweet tech. Let's just kill their guy.
The light has betrayed me.
Fortunately, we can't heals no more. But at least our opponent doesn't have an 11/11 in play. Homebrew Quest Priest, yeah. I mean, they're 4 out of 7. And this gives 2. So, is this like a Seance deck? I guess we have to, I guess we have to assume that it kind of is, right? Just don't want to blow our Mind Blasts and stuff. We might go for the Fire Tree Witch Doctor here.
I see a vision.
It's like mech Death Rattle. Ooh. Thought Steal? Let's go for the Psionic Grove. I'm going to kill both of these bombs, as our opponent has shown that they definitely have some stuff to do with those things. Now, we've kind of put like lethal in play, including these 2 Mind Blasts, possibly a 3rd, and our Hero Power. So if our opponent has to have like a Death Rattle minion, play the Amara, and a Seance. So if they have like a Loot Hoarder here, it's pretty good. Oh, I have both decks, just not sure which to use today. So out of even Warlock and Odd Dragon Warrior, I actually feel Odd Dragon Warrior is kind of underrated. But it's really blown out by combo decks. Yeah, that's the big problem that we have been saying quite a lot about. Oh, it worked out well. We actually have the same amount of power in play. One of the things we've been saying with that Odd Dragon Warrior, specifically Odd Warrior that doesn't have the quest in it, is that the late game just isn't powerful enough, I don't think. Especially competing with a lot of these quick combo decks, competing with a lot of these really late game control decks. Your late game doesn't compete. I mean, I assume we have lethal here. Yeah. Gee, wow, what a really interesting deck. I think I'm going to look into this, like, kind of questy, death rattly, mechy kind of thing. Because Explodinator giving you two clicks on the quest, and also just the kind of cool interaction between, like, Magnetic and Twilight's Call, and particularly Replicating Menace. I think it's really interesting. So, GG's, well played to our opponent. Sweet deck. We'll definitely have to check that out.
I shall bring victory.
Okay. Here we are again with the AbelHS Control Priest, Mind Blast Priest, up against the Mage. So once again, as we like to do, Abel has included a mulligan guide. So we'll try and follow that. So, not sure if this is going to be Odd Mage or Hand Mage or some variety, but we're looking for Northshire Cleric, Power Word Shield, Fire Tree, Witch Doctor, and Twilight Drake. So we'll send back one of these Northshire Clerics. See if we can hit a Twilight Drake or something with the Witch Doctor. No luck. I think just the one Northshire Cleric is fine. Baku. Ah, there's a dragon, so all's well that ends well. But yeah, we've seen seeing a fair bit of Odd Mage lately, particularly like an interesting mix between Odd Mage and Hand Mage. Odd Hand Mage, I guess you'd call it. How good is Shadow Essence in this deck? Not very. We have a lot of Battle Cries and not a lot of Death Rattles. We might just take this Power Word Shield just to keep going through the deck. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Right away.
Opponent just takes out our Fire Tree Witch Doctor. Ooh, Shadow Visions. We'll Power Word Shield first. Shadow Visions, try and find a Mind Blast.
Right away.
We're sitting okay. I mean, these Psychic Screams, if this is the odd Hand Mage kind of style, then I guess this type of hand is pretty good, because 7 mana, 8 mana is right about when that deck starts to, you know, hit its stride. This deck actually drops Mountain Giants a little bit later, so I think that should be okay.
Right away.
Opponent can get a draw off here if they would like. But it does give us access to a draw if they don't have like a Frostbolt or something like that, which usually a deck like this is not going to run Frostbolt because it wants to do something different. Either that's playing Book of Spectres or playing Keleseth. A lot of different options for a deck like this. I think we'll just play this Omega Medic.
The doctor is in.
Job's done.
Got the Scale Worm in hand, which is a great piece of board control. I can't imagine our opponent's going to let us keep this Northshire Cleric in play, though. 5 mana. Maybe they want to set up like play Bonfire Elemental instead, though.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, Fire Eater. Oh, Fire Eater to take out the Omega Man. Interesting play. It's just slamming into this Northshire Cleric, okay? Kind of like heal Duskbreaker. Maybe we need to save it though. Maybe we can go like heal Scale Worm. Trade with 2 things. Oh, there's 2 Mind Blasts.
Right away.
Got some bodies in play. But now we're hitting that point where our opponent's going to, a lot of their more powerful spells start
My
coming out.
calculations
Astromancer
are
for
flawless.
7. Opponent not patient. Busting out the coin there. Maybe it means they have the second Astromancer in hand? Unsure. Okay, well there's we have 15 damage and we have our Alex, so guess we just control the board a little bit.
Right away.
I guess the real question is, do we try to do we drop the Alex turn 9 even if they might be able to drop Frostlich Jaina the turn after? Ripperoni? Might go for the Twilight Acolyte this turn on the Astromancer. But let's Fire Tree Witch Doctor first.
I see a vision in the flames.
Huh. Well, those are some options.
Oh, a shadow.
Alright. We're in a good position here. Having this kind of board presence the turn before you drop an Alexstrasza can lead to an easier game. I don't think it'll be an easier game against a deck like this that's likely to have Arcanosaurs, Flame Strikes, potentially. We did see a version of kind of a hand mage that was playing Corpse Taker. Obviously you can't play Corpse Taker if you're odd, but interesting. I've been trying the cheeky Ankle Biter in Evenlock. It feels smooth, smooths out defiles, upgrades Spellstone for free. Oh, because you can do damage to yourself. That's really interesting, Baby Seal. Yeah, I'd never thought of that. Wow, great heads up thought. Awesome. So we're going to trade here. Drop Alex. Hit our opponent down to 10. Opponent's got to have something sick here. Truly sick. Especially with 2 Mind Blasts and the Holy Fire in hand. Our opponent's going to need like maybe double Arcane Artificer. And then a Flame Strike gains them 14. Well, there's Jaina, so our opponent is opponent's Deadzo. So, like we were saying there, I think a situation like that usually makes the game a lot easier. And it certainly did. Our opponent had a really anemic turn 8, which is very odd because they coined out that Astromancer to our board that wasn't super duper threatening. But GG's, well played. Especially that mid game can be tough to navigate, and they made it a little bit difficult for us. So, yeah, well played, and on to the next one. Okay, here with another game with the Control Priest, Mind Blast Priest up against the Rogue. Have been seeing quite a lot more Odd Rogue lately. I think Odd Rogue has had a bit of a resurgence after people are done having a bit of a holiday with their Tempo Rogues and their Miracle Rogues. So, let's see what Abel recommends for this mulligan. Northstrike Cleric, Fire Tree Witch Doctor, Tar Creeper, Duskbreaker. None of these things. So, a very... I can definitely agree with this, the mulligan guide on that. I think Odd Rogue is just so powerful in these first couple of turns that we really need to find our best pieces. You know, if we stumble our way to turn 4 or something like that, things aren't going to end well for us. I'm glad we got something to do this turn. Ooh. So here's the real kicker. Is that we can go for our win condition or we can try and survive. If we go for our win condition and we die, we'll never be able to deploy our win condition. But if we go for survival and we survive, we might actually be able to draw into our win condition. Or just win in a very kind of natural way, like we just stop our opponent from being able to deploy their really fantastic cards. That's very good. But we do have this Twilight Acolyte, so I'm going to have your buffs. Thank you. Next turn we can Tar Creeper Power Word Shield, which actually Abel does mention that that's a key part of this matchup, is landing a Power Word Shield on a Tar Creeper, as it's quite hard for our opponent to remove outside of if they have chosen Ironbeak Owl as one of their kind of flex cards, also if they have chosen obviously Vile Spine Slayer is the main way that the deck will remove it. Ooh, deadly. Okay. Very high tempo play here. Also gonna contest the Tar Creeper very well. Yeah, I think we'll go for it.
Job's done.
It's a really rough situation. Our opponent's got a massive grip as well. We still haven't seen any cards like Hench Clan Thug or Vicious Fledgling. And both of those cards right here would be... Is this the Vile Spine? Fungal. Probably was. You gonna trade the Firefly? Ooh, not even trade. It's just a bump.
I see a vision in the flames.
We can't take this. Seance? We don't have any of the good Seance minions. If we had Duskbreaker, 100%, maybe we just have to take Holy Water. And, I guess be happy with this.
Job's done.
It's kind of clunky removal. This is going to be a hard one to navigate. They have used their coin though. So if they do have a Vile Spine or anything lurking in their hand, which seems unlikely because I imagine they would have Vile Spined instead of Fungal Manced. The other deadly poison. Going face, so highly likely our opponent has a card like Leroy, cards like oh, they would have played South Sea deck down there. Okay, how do we not die? I guess maybe our best chance is just like Scale Worm heal.
Prophecy.
Well played.
Yeah, they've got us. So Leroy gets us. Cold Blood would get us. This looks like Cold Blood. Well played. Well played. So I think even though we really just got crushed here, really got crushed, I think that definitely speaks to to the mulligan guide that AbelHS was giving us there. That we really have to find our most impactful cards in that early game in order to survive the matchup. And yeah, absolutely, Saint Akira, as you're saying there, need Duskbreaker ASAP. Truly, a Duskbreaker there would have turned that into a real game. But you know, as you saw, we hit a Fire Tree Witch Doctor, we hit a Tar Creeper with that Powered Shield. We even had the Twilight Acolyte right on time for that Cold Blood, but still wasn't enough. So just keep in mind, if you are going to be playing this deck, especially against aggressive matchups, don't mulligan conservatively. Be aggressive, get the best cards. Even if you've got, like a Twilight Drake kicking around, send it back. Don't, make sure that you're hitting these really powerful cards. Regardless though, big shout out to AbelHS, as this deck was sweet, really fun to play. Unfortunately, we never got to play the Omega Medic on 10, but it did feel like it has a nice place in the deck. And you saw in those first couple of games we were able to really just stop our opponent's game plan, execute our own, and it was all pretty straightforward. There still seems like there's a lot of nuance in this deck. I certainly don't claim to be a master, but we got a lot of learns today, so I'm really happy to play a bit more Control Priest in the future, especially if when the new expansion comes out, if something changes with this deck. That'll be really fun. So if you are watching on YouTube, of course, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone deck article. Please jump over there, give the deck a +1, not like it needs any, as this deck is currently sitting on 76 plus upvotes, plus ones, whatever. But give it another one. See if you can get it to 100. Leave a lovely, thoughtful comment, like I know you will. My name's Tommy Wave. You can catch me at Twitter, at Tommy_Wave. That's the best place to catch me if you've got a sweet deck like this one you want me to play. But until next time, please, stay safe, stay wavy, set your opponent to 15, blow their head off. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.